your mind matches up with what you're saying, with what you're doing. Hey there, Aquarius, and welcome to your week of October 18th, 2021 general tarot reading. We're going to be looking at your energies coming into the week, some challenges you might be facing, as well as some possible outcomes for you. We got a couple of pop-outs to start things off with you. We're going to be doing clarifiers for all of these cards as well. We got Spike's butt here to entertain you. On top of the clarifiers, we're also going to tie everything off with an oracle card, so you're going to want to stick around for that. These are general readings, so some, all, or none of this may resonate with you. Just take what does and leave the rest. Don't try to make anything fit that doesn't. So thank you again for being here, Aquarius, and let's get into this. We got the Star, we've got the Nine of Swords, and we've also got the Five of Wands. So here, you're coming in super strong, Aquarius. That's you, the Star card. So you're in a very strong spot, though I feel as though there's conflict about you with this Five of Wands here. Five of Wands represents conflict, rivals, people kind of working against you here. And I feel like that's leading to a lot of anxieties. Maybe some doubts creeping in your life, feeling like you're not good enough, feeling like you can't overcome these people or these challenges you might be facing, but you are coming in your own power as the Star. So that's just a strong sign. That's saying that you are strong enough to make it through this. You're very powerful at this time. So I love that. That's awesome. The Star card also represents, wishing upon a star. So, make a wish right now if you haven't already. And I feel as though you're going to be moving towards that, towards accomplishing that. So let's take a look at some possible challenges you might be facing here in this week. The Five of Wands can also represent improvements as well. Not just challenges and rivals, but can also represent improvements in your life, such as like trying to eat better, or trying to train, or improve skills and such. So that may be something for you as well, not just rivals and such. But we've got the Three of Pentacles popping out for you. What else we got here? The Wheel of Fortune and the Empress. Empress is making a lot of appearances this week. So with the Three of Pentacles, we're talking about teamwork makes the dream work. Maybe there's this kind of disconnect, no synergy here, or maybe just a lack of a team here. Maybe you feel like you have to do everything on your own, or it's possible, like I say, there might be a disconnect where it might be someone's kind of overstepping their bounds. Because with the Three of Pentacles, what you really want to focus on is knowing your role on your team. So it might be a thing where people are kind of like, they're doing fine on their end, but they feel like they got to criticize you about what you're doing. Or it might be even you doing that yourself. So just be mindful of that. The Wheel of Fortune represents good luck coming in for you, but where it's in your challenge position, you might be feeling like luck isn't really on your side. So you kind of have to make your own luck, right? With the Empress here as well, it could be a feeling of like opportunities and abundance isn't coming in for you. You're just worried that that's not here. Maybe you're working towards, but it's just like everything's kind of holding up. Like you feel like these people aren't working with you. My abundance, my opportunities aren't coming in. I'm not very lucky at this time, right? But I feel like you have the strength to power through this here. I don't see this as this all just feels like momentary, temporary things here, Aquarius. So let's take a look. Let's see what we got here for you for your possible outcomes. We got the Page of Pentacles and the Eight of Swords popping out. You got pop-outs in every single position here so far, Aquarius. Very talkative the cards are for you today. There goes Spike in his bum. See ya, Spike. Giving a table shake as he goes. And we got another pop-out for you. The Chariot. Oh, see, I was talking about strengths, and the Chariot has come out now, so that's fantastic. All right, so let's get in. We got the Page of Pentacles, the Eight of Swords, and the Chariot here. Fantastic cards. The Page of Pentacles is the planner of the pages. Someone who's very information heavy, someone who very much is making a plan for the future. They have the Ace of Pentacles in their hands and they're like, I want more of this. How can I get more of it? And they start strategizing and planning and researching into how can I have more of that. So I feel like that might be you, or possibly you might be encountering someone who's very much in that kind of an energy. It doesn't have to be a guy or a girl, doesn't matter. It's just an energy, whoever it is. Here we got the Eight of Swords here, talking about making sort of self-imposed restrictions here. I feel like you need to kind of put a restriction on yourself when it comes to your mind, because there's a lot of worries here. with the Nine of Swords. Like, you got a lot of worries, a lot of like, oh, nothing's going to go well. And when the Wheel of Fortune comes up after that, the Wheel of Fortune feeds off of that, right? It turns that kind of stuff into reality, right? If you think about how negative and bad everything's going, then things will go negative and bad, because the Wheel of Fortune will amplify that. It'll be like, okay, that's what you want, that's what you're thinking about, that's what you're spending the most time on. Boom, let's give you more. It's especially where you look at the Chariot down here. He's got the moons on his shoulders as well as the stars in his little canopy here. It's sort of to say, like, as above, so below. If you, like, you know, your mind matches up with what you're saying, with what you're doing. So when you're thinking those negative thoughts that the Nine of Swords is giving you, then the Wheel of Fortune is like, okay, well, that's what you're doing. I'm like, whether it's actually true, you're focusing so much on it, I'm going to just spew it back out at you. So I feel like you need to really focus down on the positivity this week. Make a restriction on that. Make a restriction on taking out the negatives, focusing on that, like really kind of restrict your thinking, right? Focus on what is actually happening, what is real, what is tangible. We've got the Chariot here, the sign of Cancer. So you may have Cancer in your chart. If you do, let me know down in the comments below. I'm personally a Cancer sun, so I'm right there with you if you do have Cancer in your chart. But the Chariot, it talks about you know, having success, having triumphs. It is the fastest card in the deck. Nothing is faster than a Chariot. It moves at a breakneck pace. So I feel like maybe you need to just kind of do things quickly this week. Fast movement is probably going to be your friend here. Don't dwell on things. You probably don't I don't know how many of you keep up with comic books and stuff, but one of my favorite characters is Cyclops from the X-Men. And somebody once said that Cyclops, if he doesn't have time to think, he makes better decisions. I feel like that's kind of what you need to do here. It's like, you don't dwell, don't stay put, move quickly, like make a decision, move on, do your thing, move on. Don't think about it. Don't take time to dwell, because if you're taking that time to kind of consider and overthink and overanalyze, I feel like that's kind of what's holding you back here, where you're kind of being stationary and kind of giving too much thought to things that don't need it here this week, Aquarius. So let's take a look. Let's see what we got here for you for your clarifiers. Thank you so much for making it this far, Aquarius. I appreciate it so much. We're going to hit you up with your clarifiers here. Then we're going to tie everything off with an oracle card at the end. So you're probably going to want to stick around for that. Probably, I say you do want to stick around, but it's up to you. I can't stop you. I can't make you keep watching. So let's take a look at your clarifiers here, Aquarius, and see what we got for you. All right. So clarifying your energy, we got the Seven of Cups. So that kind of goes along with what we were talking about with the Chariot here, which we'll touch on in just a second. We got the Page of Wands, and we got the Sun, the happiest card in the deck. Fantastic. All right, so we were talking about that with the Chariot. The Seven of Cups represents a lot of options, a lot of potential actions you can take, paths you can tread, things like that. The Chariot, where I was saying, like, you need to kind of move quickly and not think too heavily. I feel like that's what's happening here with the Seven of Cups. You have all those potential options in front of you. And like, when you think about, oh, you know, they said this, but they did this, but they, you know, and it's like, you're kind of looking at all these contradictions and stuff. I feel like you need to kind of just eliminate it, simplify it, right? KISS, keep it simple, stupid, right? Or keep it simple, sweetie, you know, the nice way of saying it. But yeah, I feel like just keeping things simple here is going to help you out a ton. The Sun card is the happiest card in the deck. I feel like this is ultimately what you're wishing for with the Star card, is you're wishing for happiness, right? You're wishing to always be happy and be in a good place and positivity, and that's fantastic. I feel like you're striving towards it though, right? We got the Sun here. The Sun here. We got the Chariot over here. The Chariot is moving forward, moving. Like, they're going out, they're questing, they're achieving it, right? I feel like this is you taking that action towards that. So I love that. That's fantastic. So I feel like you're heading towards that Sun. Phenomenal. We've also got the Page of Wands here, so you could be very creative at this time, have like sparks and ideas. It'd be a good idea for you to, like, if you have like a notepad or something to kind of keep something on you, or your phone, right? If you have like a note thing, like I have a note app on my phone, it's like, just jot something down, like jot down, if you have like this cool idea, just stop, jot it down, save that for later, that kind of thing. So that's fantastic as well. I like that. Yeah, we just got to keep things simple here. So let's see what we got for your clarifiers, for your challenges here, Aquarius. See what's going on there as well. We've got the Nine of Cups, the Queen of Wands, and we got the Tower as well. Could be a big time change here is what you're worrying about, or what's kind of got you up in a huff. Maybe that's what's causing these anxieties. You're worried something will change and it'll be a big change and like nothing will ever be the same again after that, potentially with the Tower here. But if it is something, it's change with the Tower, I always say it's necessary in order to progress ourselves in our lives, right? If you want to achieve like awesome things in your life, you need to have a Tower moment. You need to have some sort of big change, some sort of like, you know, that light switch, like, aha, we're going to go for this. This is what we're doing here. So I like that. I like that, even though it is in your challenges and it is kind of concerning. I would say, again, don't think about it too much, right? Nine of Wands is a card of wanting to be fulfilled and satisfied and having those things that make you feel good about yourself. And again, we're just worrying about that, feeling like we're never going to have those things, feeling like, you know, it can kind of be like a case where, like for instance, where I work currently, there's a person that we work with, and this person, I don't really care for them, and neither does any of the other people on my shift. Really don't like this person. And they went on a 2-week vacation this past week, and it's ending this week. And we were like, oh, we get a 2-week vacation because they're not here anymore. And sometimes people can do that. Like when you're working on a team, is why I bring this up with the Three of Pentacles here, is sometimes those people can take that satisfaction, that fulfillment away from you just because of their, like the way they behave and conduct themselves and stuff. And this person very much, from like my personal experience, does that. Is when they're not around, I feel very fulfilled and satisfied, like I'm accomplishing things. But when they're around, they're very much being toxic and negative and stuff and all that time. And it takes that away from me, right? So that's all well and good. Perhaps this Queen of Wands is that person, someone who's very kind of like sensual, maybe even like a little flaunting when it comes to that. Like they want to flaunt their like looks and, you know, or talk about like their escapades in the bedroom and things like that. Or perhaps it's someone who is very much, or it could possibly be saying like, you're not nurturing your things, your passions, your desires and such enough, right? The Queen of Wands is a very motherly, nurturing type. And we have the Page of Wands back here for you, being very creative and such like that. Maybe this is saying that you're not nurturing those things enough. And like, that might be a good idea. Like I was talking about with the notepad or the note app, right? Just trying to get something like that for you that, that'll help you out so that you don't lose those good ideas that you have here, Aquarius. So let's take a look. Let's clarify your outcomes here as well, Aquarius. All right. So we got the Justice card. That's the sign of Libra. You may have Libra in your chart as well. We got the Six of Wands, fantastic. And we've got the Five of Pentacles as well. So again, Five of Pentacles talks about focusing on your strengths. Like, don't focus on your weakness. Don't focus on your weaknesses. Focus on your strengths. And the Chariot is a card of strength, a card of success, a card of overcoming those obstacles and taking the reins in your hands and achieving those things. So the Five of Pentacles is very much about that. This is the Two of Pentacles, however. That I said that, just take that even too. That's just a bit of free tidbit for you. But the Two of Pentacles can be a card of you kind of being like in a grind, you kind of like just maintaining something. I feel like you can maintain your strength with the Chariot card and the Star card as well. I feel like you can maintain this. This isn't like a one-time thing, right? This is you really going for it. So I love that. We have the Justice card as well, sign of Libra. So again, you may have Libra in your chart. If so, let me know down below. But the Justice card is a card of trying to be fair, trying to be balanced, you know, of course, living lawfully, you know, upholding the rules, things like that. So that's very important at this time as well. But it's also a card of trying to be fair with everyone, right? Like even if like this Queen of Wands here is maybe giving you some grief, try to be fair with them. Try to strike that balance between what's good for you and what's good for them, right? This Queen of Wands, just because they kind of flaunt their, you know, their beauty and things like that, or flaunt their successes and stuff in front of you, that comes from like probably a place of like, you know, they feel like they need to do that, right? They feel like they have to in order to like, you know, feel satisfied themselves. So it's okay to indulge them a little, but you know, you have to be fair as well. You know, a little's fine, but don't go like overboard. Don't get them like really going, but just try to be fair with them and yourself as well. Six of Wands is a card of victory. The victorious dead here. The Six of Wands is a card of victory, a card of success, as well as the Chariot is a card of success. So a ton of success coming to you in the future. Again, I feel like it's kind of a situation where you need to, just keep it simple. Don't overthink things. Just go for it that way. Very clear headlines on this newspaper as well. That's very simple. The undead are victorious. Like, that's a very clear message. It's very simple. It's official. That's a very clear message. It's, right? Like, don't try to overcomplicate it. Be like, the undead are victorious because of blah, 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 right? Like, don't, like a big, long blurb, right? It's just eye-catching. This is the important part. Like, let's get the readers, right? With the Six of Wands as well, it is a card of as well as the Chariot of like talking the talk, walking the walk, right? As above, so below. Very much the same themes with those two cards. So I love that as well. So again, like, you need to kind of like keep the positivity flowing. Don't focus on the negativity. Keep everything simple here. Aquarius. So Aquarius, thank you so much for being here. We're going to get you your oracle card here just to tie everything off. Again, I hope this has been resonating. Hope this has been helping you out in some way. I hope so. Like this, again, I feel like this is just like a very simple message of keeping things simple this week. Don't try to overthink it here. So let's take a look. Thank you again for being here, Aquarius, and let's see what we got for your card. We got the White Raven Spirit, trust in the magic. Yeah, trust that things are going to work out. Trust that you have the strength to get through this. Trust in the magic that by being simple, by just letting things kind of ride out instead of trying to overcomplicate them and overthink them, that they're going to work out and pan out in the end, rather than sitting there being like, because this person did this action and they did that and they said this thing and they did that, this must be the solution. And it's like, well, that could be if you fault that logic, but really they were just saying this other thing, right? And it's like, oh, of course, right? And they feel stupid, right? It's just trust that simplicity and the magic and your strength will get you through this. So thank you so much for being here, Aquarius. I hope this has helped you out. Remember, you can leave a like down below if you want to help out the channel. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And check out your Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus sign videos too after this one. Thank you again for being here, Aquarius, and I hope to see you in the next video.